Imagine waking up tomorrow and, for the first time in years, actually feeling excited to start that big project. Or hitting the gym without a battle in your mind. Sounds impossible right now? What if I told you that the way your brain is wired for quick dopamine hits is also the key to making discipline feel as rewarding as binge watching your favorite show? Today, I'm diving deep into Dopamine Detox Explained, with a week-long experiment that changed everything. You're about to discover what happens when you reset your brain to crave progress instead of procrastination. Hey, welcome to the Growth Mindset Project. Before we jump into my week of dopamine detoxing and the surprising neuroscience behind it, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss our deep dives into unlocking your true potential. To really understand why I tried dopamine detoxing, you need to know how your brain secretly hijacks your motivation all day long. Right now, as you're watching this, part of your mind is quietly calculating, should I keep paying attention or bail for something easier? Oh, this split-second mental math happens thousands of times a day. And the force behind it? Dopamine. But here's the reality. Dopamine is not just the pleasure chemical. It's actually the wanting chemical. Every time you anticipate a reward, whether that's a message, a snack, or the next video, your brain gives you a jolt of dopamine, pushing you to chase after it. But when your day is packed with low-effort, high-reward activities, like scrolling social media, your brain's dopamine system gets completely thrown off. This is what neuroscience calls down-regulation. Your brain, flooded by easy dopamine, turns down its sensitivity. That means all those things that once brought you satisfaction, reading a book, making real progress at work, crushing a workout, suddenly feel kind of dull. It's not about lacking willpower. It's about your motivation engine getting short-circuited by a world packed with cheap thrills. Let me paint the picture. When I sat down to start my own dopamine detox week, I realized just how engineered my environment was to distract me. Every app, every notification, every snack within arm's reach, each one was an instant hit of satisfaction for almost zero effort. The hard stuff? My brain treated it like punishment. Here's where Dopamine Detox Explained gets real. The detox isn't about eliminating dopamine itself, your brain needs it. It's about stepping away from the hyper-stimulating sources that have recalibrated your reward system. Think of your dopamine pathways like a lamp that's been on super bright for months. After a while, even normal light feels like darkness. A dopamine detox is about turning the brightness down, so you can actually enjoy the light of a focused life again. In practical terms, I started by picking my biggest sources of easy dopamine. For me, the main culprit was social media, especially short-form videos. But for you, maybe it's junk food, endless online shopping, or gaming. The rule is simple. If it delivers a lot of pleasure with little effort, it's dissecting your dopamine system. I committed to 1 week without these triggers, focusing on activities that required more investment, reading real books, journaling, exercising without music, and just taking silent walks. At first, it was rough. I felt fidgety, constantly reaching for my phone, and weirdly anxious. My brain was screaming for a quick hit. Here's the crucial insight from dopamine detox science. That discomfort is withdrawal, not personal failure. If you're enjoying this breakdown on Dopamine Detox Explained so far, let me know by pressing like and sharing your experience or biggest distraction in the comments. You never know who you'll inspire by sharing your story. Let's get back into the thick of it. The first few days felt exactly like everyone describes, a battle. Random cravings for stimulation, restlessness, even doubt. But then, around day 3 or 4, something started shifting. Simple acts, writing, cooking, even cleaning, became more engaging. My attention span noticeably expanded. Suddenly I could read for an hour without feeling bored. The satisfaction from completing hard tasks felt deeper and more rewarding than any like on a post ever could. What's happening at the neural level here? This is neuroplasticity in action. As you remove low-effort dopamine sources, your brain starts upregulating its dopamine receptors. It grows more sensitive to natural, slower building sources of satisfaction. This is why old school joys, a meaningful conversation, persistence on a difficult project, a walk in nature, start to light you up again. You're not inventing discipline, you're rediscovering it. A tip I found crucial: don't just subtract distractions, add meaningful alternatives. Read a chapter of a novel instead of scrolling. Go for a walk without technology. Cook instead of ordering out. At first, these might seem dull when you're used to a dopamine overload, but within days, your brain starts preemptively releasing dopamine in anticipation of these activities. Here's why that shift matters. There's a big difference between pleasure and satisfaction. Pleasure is quick, easy, and fleeting. It's what you get from a like, a sugar hit, or a meme. Satisfaction is hard-won, delayed, and lasting. It emerges from effort, accomplishment, and real progress. The more you feed your brain satisfaction through effort, the more powerful and sustainable your motivation becomes. Studies show that resisting instant gratification strengthens your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning and self-control. Meanwhile, chasing instant pleasure lights up your limbic system, the more primitive, emotional part of your brain. Dopamine detoxing, explained simply, means you're moving your motivation system from impulse-driven to purpose-driven. Remember to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know down below if you've tried a dopamine detox or if you're planning to start. By day 6 and 7, the transformation really kicked in. Tasks I'd been putting off started to feel genuinely appealing. I was amazed by how much energy and focus I reclaimed, all because my brain wasn't being yanked around by every notification and urge. My environment started to work for me, rather than against me, in small ways. Putting my phone in another room, prepping meals in advance, and setting my workout clothes out the night before. Each little tweak reduced friction to doing things that actually gave me satisfaction. Maybe the biggest secret weapon in this process is environment design. If you want your dopamine detox to work, make the distractions hard to access and the effortful, growth-oriented activities easy to start. For example, block distracting websites, delete addictive apps, make healthy behaviors more visible, and prepare your productive environment in advance. Make it easier to take the path that leads to genuine satisfaction. But be warned, the world is full of passive, instant dopamine traps. Even after, or especially after, a successful detox, you'll need systems in place or you'll drift back to your old defaults. The people around you matter too. It's easier to stick with focus-oriented habits if your community values them. Seek out others who challenge you to grow, not just to distract yourself. A lot of people think dopamine detoxing sounds like making life harder or less fun. But the opposite is true. When you reset your dopamine system, you're reclaiming your mind. You get to experience the freedom of choosing challenging things and enjoying them, not out of forced discipline, but because your brain now rewards the effort. True freedom isn't being able to give in to every distraction on a whim. It's being able to channel your attention, energy, and passion wherever you want. And that freedom comes not from willpower, but from a well-calibrated, dopamine-balanced brain. So here's the real challenge. Don't just watch this and scroll away. Ask yourself, what's your strongest source of empty dopamine? Take the plunge. Remove it for 7 days. Watch what happens to your mind, your focus, and your energy. Track the transition. Once you see your brain begin to crave satisfaction over stimulation, you'll never want to go back. Ready to dig deeper? Check out our playlist on rewiring your mind and building unshakable discipline right here. And don't forget to hit that bell so you get notified for our next transformation challenge. Your new brain and your next level are waiting.